Hello and welcome to the part one video of measuring. I've separated this into two shorter videos to make it a little bit more manageable. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I'd like you guys to do is kind of like I do now. Instead of doing it in school though, you're going to do it at home and it shouldn't be difficult. So go ahead and do what it says. You're going to measure the size of your science textbook using something nearby. So I don't want you searching around too much for something to measure with. Grab a pen, a pencil, a cup, another book, whatever you'd like to do, and take the measurement of the science textbook. Write your measurement down, and then I'd like you to list the pros and cons of using your measuring tool. Okay, so I'd like you to press pause now and go ahead and get started. Okay, welcome back. What you probably found was there were definitely pros and cons. We will discuss your pros and cons in class tomorrow, but also probably made you think a little bit about something having to do with the next slide, and that slide is the fact that there are two main systems of measurement in the United States, two sets measurement systems that we all use. The standard system of measurement is kind of unique to the United States. You probably know that. We're one of the only countries that uses the foot, the mile, the pound, the gallon, ounces, quarts, so on and so forth. The other system of measurement, you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, wait, I've always known that as the metric system. You are mostly right. It is known as the international system of measurement. This is the one that most of the globe uses and the entire science field uses. Calling it a metric system is not a complete name because that just implies that you're using only meters. But we do know that the international system uses meters, grams, kilograms, liters, and those sort of things. I'm not going to get into all of those. I get into that in just a second. I do apologize for my terrible handwriting here. I don't have a good stylus for the laptop. I'm going to work on that. But let's go to the next page. As I said, the United States is pretty unique. There's not many countries that use the standard system as its primary measuring system. There's actually only 3. And I would like you guys to do a quick search online for the 2 other countries that use the standard system of measurement as their primary measuring system. I don't need you to come up with an opinion or state anything other than the names of those 2 countries. We will discuss more on that when I see you in class. All right, let's take, you can either pause this now or come back and answer this after you finish the video. All right, let's move on. The international system of measurement, the one that is used in the field of science and for most of the globe. Why do they use it? It's a more user-friendly way of measuring and converting measurements. It's user-friendly because most people use it, and converting it is pretty easy because it's based in units of 10. I'll show you that on the next slide. There are something called SI base units. These are the most commonly used SI units for a given type of measurement. So if you want to see how long something is, so on and so forth. So let's go over those. The meter. The meter is used to measure length, width, and height. You can use a smaller version of the meter by putting a prefix in front of it, like centimeter, or a larger one, kilometer. We'll get into that on the next slide. The SI base unit is kilogram when we talk about mass. Most things are going to be measured in kilograms, most everyday things. In our class, we typically are going to use just gram, but the base unit is kilogram. Okay? For time, the base unit is seconds. We don't use kiloseconds really, we used hours and minutes and such. Okay, moving on. Next thing is Kelvin, and this is used to measure temperature. Now you're probably thinking, oh wait, I thought it was Celsius. Celsius is pretty close to Kelvin, but in the field of science we use Kelvin for a specific reason that I'll get into a little later in the year. But the base unit for the SI base unit for temperature in science is Kelvin. We are typically going to use Celsius in class though. Liter. and that's used to measure liquid volume. And finally, cubic centimeters, used to measure solid volume. All right, let's move on. SI prefixes. You're probably thinking, oh my goodness, this slide. Yes, I know. Don't copy everything down. The SI prefixes, you need to write that down, are the abbreviation and the full prefix right here that go in front of the different units, not base units, different units for measuring. Okay, so the units are seconds, meters, liters, and grams. You would put kilo in front of grams to say that there are 1,000 grams being measured. So if I said that something was 1 kilogram, I instantly know that that means there's 1,000 grams there. That's because I've been doing this for quite some time. Maybe the same for you. I'm not going to assume that though. Okay, so you do need to know the order, and you need to know how many of the unit each prefix is equal to. And one way to remember that may look a little bit familiar down here from Mrs. Ross's class and probably Miss Riley, maybe even Mrs. Liu. Kilo, hecta, deca, the unit, meter, liter, gram, second. Deci, centi, milli. You probably remember the saying, King Henry doesn't mind, like, or get drinking chocolate milk. If that helps you remember it, please use it in this class. I'm all for it. Okay. So with this information, I would like you guys to try a very quick example on the next page. Okay. Ooh, my terrible handwriting right there. Let me erase that away. Probably saw the answer already, and you see my chicken scratch here. I'm going to erase it and put it back in so you get to see more chicken scratch in just a moment. Okay, so the first one is 5 grams. Now to use this method right here, after each prefix or each abbreviation of a prefix, I put a decimal place and I line up with whatever one I'm given. So here I have 5 grams. I lined up my decimal place, which would be right after the 5, after the unit that was given, which was grams. So if it's 5 grams, that grams is right here. I put the decimal place right here. I put the 5 right there. And then I know I need to go to milligrams. So I go 1, 2, 3 to milligrams, and then I fill in with zeros. 1, 2, 3. And I know that 5 grams is equal to 5,000 milligrams. That's one way of solving this. It might even look a little bit better this time around. A little bit. Okay? I would like you to attempt to do these next two. Okay? So pause and give that a try. Alrighty. Welcome back. And actually, I think that's where I want to stop for this one. And I'm going to start part 2 after this, but this video is now ending, and I will see you later.